G'day guys, welcome to another instalment of the Engine Shed. Today I'm just going to give you a quick layout tour. I've just finished doing some track work and pinning down the top level of track and been testing, so you'll have to forgive the mess, but nonetheless the top level is now pretty much done, the main line anyway. So I thought I'd show you what I've been up to. To start off though, seeing as it's the first layout tour, Cathedral Hill is a pretty basic construction. You can see the tabletop here. This tabletop is 9mm MDF and it's sitting on top of 35x70 MGP10 structural pine, and it's just framed up in a pretty general fashion. You can see the legs are on the outside. Two levels, 300mm apart, so the top level is of course the scenic level. The bottom level is the fiddle yard slash stabling yard, and you can see down here there's plenty of room to expand should that be necessary. Yeah, so the layout in total is 7 meters long, so that's the workbench up there. All the way down to this end, it's 7 meters. It's 1.8 meters across, and that's allowed me to create some a really nice big station area. And on the opposite side there is going to be a nice scenically detailed main line. So the station is very loosely based off Ipswich on the Great Eastern Main Line in the UK. I remember seeing videos of that, and I really liked the way the station profile sort of blended in with the operation of trains. And the other reason was Ipswich has this nice gradual curve, which you can sort of see here, hopefully. So it has this nice gradual curve from a junction, goes all the way down here, and at these points at Ipswich there's a station, or there's a tunnel portal. Okay, so this is actually really good for me because it's going to hide that rather tight curve over here, which is more train set like than model like. So by putting a tunnel portal there and then one over the other side around about there, it's just going to hide probably not a too aesthetically pleasing looking curve. And of course, because it's called Cathedral Hill, sitting above that there's going to be a flat raised area above here with all the scenic detail. So effectively one side of the layout will not be visible from the other, so the main line here will not be visible from that side, and likewise this main line will not be visible from that side. Vice versa. So that's the idea. But anyway, at this end there's going to be a fairly gentle set of topography that goes down into a town. All it's going to be raised up about 100mm from the edge of the track with retaining walls, and that way it's just going to create a nice little town, sort of country townish thing. Over in the far corner there's the TMD. I'll show you that in a little bit more detail shortly. But as you probably noticed, the layout itself, or at least the main line anyway, is in a sort of modified teardrop setup. So the trains all go into a loop, so they can go either way. But if you do it this way, the train can run down this way, goes around there, goes back down there, and goes down the return line on the helix. And speaking of the helix, this is something I showed in a video before, and I promised I would do a video on it, but this is just going to be a general sighting of the helix. It's a 3.5 level helix. It's made of 6mm MDF, threaded rod, all sorts of bits and pieces. The track that I used for this is Hornby 3rd and 4th radius. On the up line, which is the outer loop, there's 3mm thick foam track bed, and on top of that is the DCC Concepts power base, and that helps steam locomotives like the Black Fives and various other locomotives pull up some long trains. And I've still got to do some more testing on that before I can give some definitive results, but so far it looks pretty promising. But anyway, so the trains can run down. Obviously this is the up line, that's the down line. Runs down, does the loop, and it comes down to this level. So this is the entrance to the fiddle yard. Currently it's got 8 lines, but there's room in the middle for expansion for a stabling yard at any point if I choose to put one in. And you can see it's pretty filthy, but that generally happens when you've been doing a lot of work. So yeah, comes off the helix into the set of points, runs its way around the back corner, all the way around to the other side, which is pretty much identical. Goes through a set of points again. Over to that line, and then comes up the outside up line. So, because it is DCC, of course, there is going to be some difficulties with reverse loops. So I've basically set the electrics up so the actual helix is the reverse loop, which means that regardless of the length of train, it all fits on there. And it's all wired up to those two little Hornby reverse loop modules. You know, the Hornby reverse loop modules, they're pretty good. They do the job. So I ran with it. Seems to be working pretty well. Anyway, the junction here. So as I said, you can have trains running in either direction of the main line. So if it's going this way, it will go around and loop, come back down this line. If it goes down this line here, it will do a sequential loop and come back around on this line, which is going to make for some really interesting operation. I am going to be looking into computer controlling the layout. It's something that I'm probably going to have to do, as I mentioned before. Probably I've got about 80 odd points on this layout, but so far it looks really good. You can see the junction here into thing. There's a passing loop or a passing line, a through line in the middle of the station. We've got a terminus or a two platform terminus here, which is just going to be for DMUs. One platform there, the through line in the middle, and of course two more platforms over there either side, which is long enough to fit an 8-car or an 8-car HST, a full-length Hornby Pendolino, various other things in there. It's all going to wind down into here, another set of junctions through the tunnel portal, out the tunnel portal. I'll just quickly get around the other side. This is my workbench. It's pretty messy at the moment, but see there's some Lycos. I've just been chipping and testing those ones. Okay, so on this side, there's going to be another tunnel portal out here. It's going to go out, and as I said, there's going to be a raised town scene here, so effectively you won't be able to see this side of the main line at all, which is going to be nice. We've got a series of points in here. This point here is going to be diverting off into a TMD/Heritage Works. So there where all the steam locos are is going to be the Heritage Works, and that's going to connect up to the turntable. And then round about there is going to be the TMD, and that's going to disappear underneath the work table and create a bit more space for me. So there you have it, guys. Still a lot of work to do, especially around the TMD. I've got a lot of points yet to lay, but I've just finished pinning down all the track here. I've been testing trains on it over the point work. Everything looks pretty good so far. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe. If you didn't like the video, give us a thumbs down. Feel free to comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. Any feedback would be awesome. But for now, that's all. Thanks for watching. So see you next time.